What's going on, everybody? Brandon with Dust Off Fishing, and I'm going to give today's fishing report on Table Rock Lake. So today is Saturday, 6 May, and I just wrapped up a tournament on the Missouri Kayak Fishing Series. We had 109 anglers today. I finished 17th, and I'm going to show you guys the baits that worked best for me today. Now, keep in mind that I fished very close to the dam, so clear water temps were 67 degrees, and I fished mostly secondary points. I actually fished a main lake point too on the side of it. That's where I caught most of my fish. I'm gonna show you guys the baits, and let's get started. All right, so my biggest fish today was 17.75 inches, and I caught that on a square bill crankbait. This one is a Strike King 1.5, and then I added these owner stinger treble hooks to this bait, and I highly recommend that you change out your hooks on stock baits, because this fish was stuck and I had no worries about pulling that fish in. Okay, and that fish was caught basically on the side of a main lake point in about 5 to 10 feet of water. Okay. The workhorse in the early morning was this So this is a Z-Man Finesse Ned rig hook. Kind of see that there. And I think it's a 1/8 ounce hook. And this is a 3-inch Kayak electric shad swim bait. So the swim bait really did a lot of work for me early in the morning. And on Table Rock, you can't go wrong with just a little tiny Kayak shad imitator on a Ned rig head. That is like a year-round bait. There's no way that that you can go wrong with that. Pretty much anytime. If you're having a hard time getting a bite on Table Rock Lake, spinning rod, Kayak on a Ned rig, good to go. All right, if you have wind and it's blowing into a main lake point, I highly suggest a double willow blade spinnerbait. To be honest with you, I'm not quite sure who makes this spinnerbait. Actually, River to Sea makes this spinnerbait. So it's a River to Sea double willow blade spinnerbait, and then this is just a 3.8 inch Kayak in like a natural shad color. But the more natural you can get on Table Rock Lake, the better. So I actually switched up from a chartreuse and white to this natural shad double willow, and I caught a very nice spotted bass on a main lake point with wind blowing into it. Okay, the workhorse, the lure that saved the day. So if you aren't familiar with this, it's a very good bait this time of year, and it catches big fish. So this had 3 of my 5 biggest fish, and this is a mag draft. And you can kind of see how kind of wore out it is. But it killed for me today. So I just threw this off a secondary point. You know that point I was talking about where the wind is blowing into it? I went onto the side of that and the wind was blowing down the bank, and I was just throwing this slow retrieve on a 6-3-1 Daiwa on a Mojo Bass 7'10" heavy fast, and 25-pound fluorocarbon, 20-pound fluorocarbon, whatever you want to use. Hard to beat. So this is definitely a must-have on Table Rock Lake, and these mag drafts are just ridiculously good. They're good year-round. They're good cold water baits. They're good especially in clear water, especially this color. And So yeah, I know other people were catching them on jerk baits, spooks. They're in the shad spawn right now, so you're going to see a lot of that sort of thing happening. But as you can tell, I went with all the shaddy things, the Kayak, the spinnerbait, the square bill, and the mag draft. So focus on shad. Check out these baits. Another great bait that you can use, as far as the last thing goes, is a crocodigator makes a swamp bug in a white, and that is a killer bait this time of year on a shaky head, and they make a gator shaker. So give that a shot too. Anyway, appreciate you guys watching. Hope this fishing report helps, and stay fishy.